Sabah everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you my review of the Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus. This is going to be the things that I like and the things that I did not like about these devices from using them for about a month. I want to say thank you very much to Verizon for allowing me to be able to do this comparison for you, but let's not waste any time. This is TK, let's check it out. And here are both devices. The S9 and the S9 Plus are both in coral blue. It's going to be available at launch from almost all the carriers as well as unlocked from Samsung. Now, as far as the specifications and the difference between the two devices, I'm not going to waste too much time talking about that. I'm actually going to go ahead and center these devices. I'm going to superimpose the data for you right there. You guys could pause the video and see the main differences. Short answer, obviously, is we have 2 more extra gigs of RAM here, 4 to 6. We have 3500 milliamp battery as opposed to we have the 3000 milliamp battery. We have 2 sensors as opposed to the single sensor on here, although the second one is just a telephoto sensor. And the main 12 megapixel sensor is the exact same thing on both of them. The main thing I wanted you guys to understand is the main upgrade on the camera from last year to this year is that we now have the ability of mechanically going down to f1.5 or at 2.4. And depending on the actual presence or the area that you're in, if there's not enough light, it automatically does it. Or you can go in directly into the Pro mode and turn that on manually. But other than that, the specifications are pretty much identical on both devices. Now, going through some of the things that I did like or I don't like about this device, I'm going to start off with obviously with the good stuff. I'm going to say by far the fact that we have the coral blue out of the box at the beginning at launch is definitely a big plus. I've been missing the coral blue since the Note 7 or the demise of the Note 7, and that really brought me into really appreciating that blue color. Now, we don't have that gold tint that we had on the Note 7 or the Note 10 edition, but we definitely do have a really good color that just stays all across. And on the front, of course, we have that infinity display. 6.2-inch display here, 5.8 here, both Quad HD displays. And by default, when you get them out of the box, they're both clocked in at 1080p. So that's something that kind of bugs me. So I'm kind of maybe jumping in a little bit ahead here. But first thing out of the box, when you do open up this device and you're setting it up, there's no notification, there's nothing that tells you that this is actually tuned to be at 720p display. It's not tuned to be a 2K display. And then right there you say screen resolution is by default set to Full HD plus, not WQHD. So obviously the reason we say WQHD is because we do have that 18:9 aspect ratio. So you do need to turn that on, go manually and turn it on yourself for you to be able to use it. Theme support is definitely very much still here. You still have the ability of using Substratum. If you're a big fan of Substratum, I am, and you do need to use it with Andromeda since it's Android 8.1. But other than that, I think overall UI, it's pretty much the same. I'm not a big fan of the Samsung launcher, so I installed my own. I'm now using Nova Prime, and I installed my apps. You'll notice the setup is pretty much the same. I have my gestures that I like to kind of keep, and the UI is pretty simple and very, very fast. There's no latency. The 6 gigs of RAM and the 4 gigs of RAM that I have on here are extremely, very functional and very, very fast. As far as devices and what we have from last year, so let's say if you had an S8 or an let's say even the Note 8, the main thing that you get from coming into this year is the stereo speakers. We finally have stereo speakers, and I can't believe we've been saying we finally have it in 2018. But the earpiece at the top doubles as basically kind of like a tweeter for the bottom fire speaker that gives you the mids and lows. So you're getting a really better audio experience when you're watching movies, when you're taking video and you're watching that afterwards. You're getting a stereo response back. Now, both have iris scanners and both have face unlock, and that's used to create this hybrid kind of like a smart unlock system where it's super fast. And now I have them both set up, so I'm going to go ahead and just look at my device, and it unlocks right away. The fingerprint sensor is extremely fast. Definitely no complaints. It's an iterative upgrade for what we had last year. The sensors on the back can generate amazing photos, and one of the main benefits from going into the camera this year is that they also implemented this emoji or AR emojis, if you think about them, and they're sitting here right here, AR emojis. Now there's hyperlapse, of course. There's 720p, 760 frames, 940 frames per second slow motion on here. This is called the super slow mode that you're able to configure. So there's a manual and automatic mode, although you do need a lot of light and you need to practice using this. It's almost impossible to do that. But turning on the AR emoji is something that you can just say. You can either create one or you can use it. And then by just swiping it over and taking it over to the front-facing camera, I definitely won't say that this looks exactly like me. and I'm not sure. So overall, it's definitely a nice little thing. The camera interface has been changed. That's something that's actually a little bit easier. You just swipe through the modes that you want, and flipping over between the front-facing and the back-facing camera is very simple. You can actually even initiate it with a power button. So if you're home, double pressing the power button opens up the camera. Double pressing it again switches between the front-facing and the back-facing camera. And of course, the volume rocker takes a picture. So very quick, very easy, and again, no slowdown. And as you guys know, I have a lot of applications installed on my devices, so you would imagine that this device would actually be slowed down. No issues at all. Recently, we went on a trip to Paris, and I took a lot of pictures with this. My son was with me here. We were flying, and then it's definitely one of the main things that you will always enjoy this. And there was a big Dragon Ball Z event running in Paris when we were there on the last day, and there's Goku, Trunks, and all of the guys. My son had just a blast. Well, both of us had a blast. And you can see here's Frieza, and I mean, you look at the details right there. Oh man, this is just amazing. Great camera, you will not be disappointed. And this is really why Samsung is really good. They've perfected the design. The infinity display looks amazing. You still have the gesture controls. They're in here, and you're able to basically, the side panel to be able to launch your applications. Unlocking with the fingerprint goes pretty quick. And we also have the ability of adding this, which I'm thinking you guys are probably going to ask, is this video on the lock screen, which gives you the ability of running this. So this is Goku and Ultra Instinct Foam, and I ran it as a video, and then I just pasted it in, or I tried it in as my lock screen video. And it's amazing. Every time I unlock my device, I just have to look at my phone, and it's unlocked, and it works perfectly fine. Or I can, again, use my fingerprint sensor. If you like smaller devices and the form factor, so let's go ahead and unlock the device. It unlocks perfectly. You just have to look at it. This has theme support. You notice right there I have the dark theme installed on my device and downloaded it straight from the theme store directly from Samsung. And it does have substratum support. Google VR, and I did another video for you guys as far as it does support Daydream on both of them, but you know, the Gear VR from last year works perfectly with both. I'll give you guys a link, of course, to that video. Transitioning over, of course, I did another video there when I unboxed the S9 Plus. Using Smart Switch is really, really easy, simple to transfer from your iPhone, transferring from another Android device, or even Windows Mobile, directly into your Samsung device, and it'll transfer all your applications, your settings, your shortcuts, all of the stuff that you can imagine. I'm personally a big fan of Nova, so for me, I just transferred all my data over, and then transferred my settings for Nova from my old device to this device, and it works great. Fast charging is present on the USB port at the bottom, as well as fast wireless charging at the bottom, so you're not going to be disappointed. We do have Dolby support on both of these with the headphones, so using a headphone jack will definitely be beneficial here for better audio quality. They're both going to be supporting the latest bands on all your carriers, so this one on Verizon I was getting ridiculous speeds. The highest I was able to get was 38, and that was, or even 41 here with 3 megabits up. Again, I was running on LTE, that 38 was actually on Wi-Fi, but again, best connections, and that's going to be really the best experience you're going to be getting out of here. As I mentioned to you guys, the camera UI is definitely reinvented, and I feel like it's a better implementation of it. Sound quality as far as music playback is definitely very nice. Let's go ahead and turn on a quick song for you guys. And you can hear the sound coming in from the earpiece here. See? So let me summarize the things that I liked and the things that I did not like. Screen size, RAM, internal storage, expandable storage, IP rating for water resistance, all of those things I like. Stereo speakers, wireless charging, fast wireless charging, fast charging. I'm actually giving you a lot of the things I really, really like about this. The blue coral color at launch from the major carriers in the US. Very, very happy about that. And again, very nice on both devices. It looks really beautiful, and it just really just gives us nice additional options that we did not have in the past. Now, some of the things I'm not exactly a big fan of, and they're not bad, they're just some things I feel like were added there for the sake of just adding them there. The blood pressure sensor I think is very nice, although it's not functional for the average user, so do not buy this thinking this is going to replace your cuff as far as being able to measure your blood pressure. And as far as AR emojis, as cute as they are, they're unfortunately not well done, they're not accurate. And when they're used as far as the functionality of what they can do, they're always kind of a little bit twitchy. I feel like Bixby has come a long way from what we had in the past. Although we still have it turned on by default, you can disable it. So this is kind of a like and not so much. Like and subscribe as usual. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you very much for the support. And if you're deciding to get in an S9 or S9 Plus, get the one that fits you best. Meaning if you're a smaller device user, go to the S9, you're not going to be disappointed. Or if you like a bigger device, let's say like the Note 8, go with the S9 Plus, as the 6.2-inch display is just magnificent. This is TK. I'll see you guys in the next video.